Afghanistan, by far.
A wall of mums.
Stay clear! Moms are here!
Protecting Black Lives Matter demonstrators from a deployment of federal agents in the city of Portland. And the mothers weren't spared. They joined the protests after federal officers in unmarked military uniforms whisked protesters off the streets.
Isn't kidnapping illegal? That's what I think. Like, what the hell? Why y'all snatching people up? Like, y'all breaking so many laws, and you want me to follow the law when the people who supposed to enforce it doesn't even follow it? Like, they're not protecting and they're not serving and they're not following the law. So what are they doing?
Well, President Trump says they're doing a great job and has promised more federal personnel to combat what he calls anarchists and agitators who hate America. But his Attorney General has been forced to defend the deployments in front of the Democrat-controlled House Judiciary Committee.
In the wake of George Floyd's death, violent rioters and anarchists have hijacked legitimate protests to wreak senseless havoc and destruction on innocent victims. The current situation in Portland is a telling example. Every night for the past 2 months, a mob of hundreds of rioters have laid siege to the federal courthouse and other nearby federal property. The rioters have come equipped for fight.
The White House says the demonstrations require tough measures. The Trump administration is sending federal agents to 6 cities it says are crime-ridden and run by radical left Democrats. But the mayors of those cities have asked lawmakers to make it illegal to do so without their permission.
That's not democracy that we saw unfolding on the streets of Portland as a result of this federal action. That's what we call tyranny and dictatorship, and we are not having it in Chicago.
In June, Trump had considered ordering the army to quell protests, a suggestion that was opposed by the defense secretary. But critics say Trump is treating the federal officers as his own private army. They come from multiple agencies, including the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives and the Bureau of Prisons, prompting many to question whether they are acting outside their jurisdictions. As protests continue in cities across the US, is Washington merely acting to restore much-needed order? Or are these boots on the ground the first real signs of creeping authoritarianism in the Trump administration? Adam Pletts, The Newsmakers.